Hello again, my brothers and sisters. This is Kadima with one more video for God of War Ragnarok. After a very long time of absence, I have been quite ill recently, and then I didn't have any voice, very sore throat. I'm finally getting better, so I decided to record one more video this time, following what I've done with the previous video, where I've completed all the challenges for the Muspelheim Crucible trials. In this video, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm basically just going to explain how to unlock every single challenge, and how you guys can keep track of what you are doing, what have you done so far, and what you should be doing next, in order to not just save some time by preventing yourselves from repeating challenges that you have done already, but also to just keep it as in a straight line, as instead of going up and down, and losing track of what you've done and what you haven't done just yet. Unfortunately, in all of my save files, I have completed the trials already, so I will not be able to show you myself exactly how this thing looks when you first show here, but I will do my best to explain. So when you first arrive at Muspelheim at the Crucible, where I am at the moment, as you can see on the map, when you first arrive, this sword here, the central sword, isn't here, as you probably have realized by now, and if you've been here already, or if you haven't just yet, the first time you come here, this central sword is not around. You only have the three initial swords. So sword number 1, sword number 2, sword number 3, as I like to call them, and as I've done in my previous video. Instead of the central sword, the first time you come here, you have a Nornir chest. And that Nornir chest will remain here until you complete all the trials on the other swords. So if I quickly run into sword number 1, the first time you come here, you will have only available trial number 1 and trial number 2. The trial number 3 will not be available at the time. You will only have options 1 and option 2. And to unlock the Nornir chest, which is in the center, you have to complete challenge 1 and challenge 2 for the first sword, and then you have to come onto the second sword, which is just above here, right there, and you have to complete challenges again, number 1 and number 2. Same story repeats for the sword. You will have Ring Out challenge available, you have Feed the Rift available, but Health Steal challenge will not be available until you complete all 6 challenges, meaning the first 2 challenges from each of the 3 swords. So if you go onto the count on the top left side of the screen, you have Crucible challenges 15 out of 15. So when you first come here, of course, it's going to say 0 out of 15. But the first time you complete all 6 challenges, so 2 of the first sword right here, 2 on the second sword right here, 2 of the second sword right here, that will unlock 6 out of 15. So that's easy to track. That means that's done. And when you do that, you unlock the third option from each one of the swords. Now, when you do that, the central sword also becomes available. And when that becomes available, these marks on the floor, which are surrounded by the blue molten iron, these circles here on the floor where I am with Freya right now, they will have rune symbols. All of these symbols. There are 4 in total here, so it's 1, 2 right here, 3 right here, and 4. So there will be 4 circles here in the middle, right next to the sword, and each of these circles is going to have a combination of 2 runic symbols. And if you take notice, those runic symbols will match the runic symbols of each one of the swords. Unfortunately, again, as I explained before, you won't be able to see these symbols on my swords because I have completed all 15 already. So you won't be able to see them. But they are very easy to track. There are only 3 different symbols. It's one that looks like an N for November. There's a symbol that looks like an F for France, and there's a symbol that looks like an R for Robert. So if you keep track of their locations, you will know which symbol represents each sword. So let me give you an example. So let's say this circle right here has the symbols N and F. That means that for you to unlock the challenge here on the central sword, you are going to have to complete a challenge on the sword with the symbol N, and then complete a challenge on the sword with the symbol F before you come here. So NF will unlock this challenge here, and by doing so the central sword then becomes available again, and you can complete the corresponding challenge. So after you do that 4 times for each one of these circles, you have another 2 to go, and these 2 will be represented here. As you can see, for example, at the moment I have done F. So if I do R, which I won't be able to because, of course, as I explained, I've completed this already. But if I'm not mistaken, the sword with R would be this one right here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so this would be the sword that would give me the challenge for the R. But my point is, you will have, in these ones you can actually still see the symbols RN, and for this door it will be RF, and you have to complete them in this order. It doesn't have to be RF, you can do FR, it's the same thing, but it just means that you have to do it the pair itself to unlock the challenge. So you have to do RN for this one, or NR, it's the same, doesn't really matter the order, and here it would be RF or FR, it's the same. Okay, so that will unlock you all of the challenges for this area, and that means that you can complete all 15 out of 15. The way to be sure is, once you have 15 out of 15 and you come back to the central sword, all the challenges then become permanently available. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they will be permanently unlocked. So that's when you know you have completed everything, and you will also be able to double check that once you come back to this menu, and you'll see that you got Crucible challenges 15 out of 15. So it's quite easy to track. Again, the moment you complete the highlighted runic pair, that one will disappear, so it will not create confusion. You won't be able to say, okay, have I done that one or not? If it's gone from the circle, means you've done it. If it's still shining blue, means you still have to complete that one. Okay, so it's quite easy, nothing to be lost, as long as you keep track of what you're doing. Always return to the central sword. If you lost track of which one you are meant to be doing to complete the pair, come back to the central sword, have a quick look. Okay, I'm doing that one, what's the symbol I need? Proceed to the sword, complete the challenge, come back to the central sword, complete the corresponding challenge, either it will be 2, 3, or 4, and just proceed. And when you complete all of them, you got your job done, and basically that's it. Not a lot more than that, I'm afraid. This is going to be a short video. Again, I am still not 100% myself. I'm still recovering, and I apologize for the sound of my voice. I did, however, change headset. I hope this one sounds a bit better on my videos. Please let me know if it's the case for you guys. And this is Karima saying goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio!